your Catholic Drive Time
with Joe McClane and EmilyiAlcaraz.
Joining us all the way from, I was going to say sunny California, but it's still very early there, so there's no sun. But Newport Beach, California, Richie Orozco, he is the CEO of Catholic Connect. And there was a story out, CNA reported it yesterday, and we reported it here on Catholic Drive Time, that the Catholic Connect was suspended from Instagram for apparent copyright infringement. So I've invited him on to give us the inside scoop, and we'll dive into Catholic Connect as well. But good morning to you, Richie Orozco.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Instagram slapped us with 2 copyright infringements. The second one being, the first one was from a Catholic account. Let me just point that out. The second one was the one that actually shut us down, and we actually did have the rights to use that video. So we reached out to the company where we licensed the video, and they're working with us. Thankfully, they're fully cooperative, and they're actually reaching out to the legal team of Instagram and to the internal team to get our account reinstated, or at least try to.
Wow. It must have been somewhat, we get copyright strikes on YouTube on occasion for little things. Uh-huh. And every time I get it, my heart skips a beat. It's like, oh no, what have I done now? It must have been that, but more for you. What did it feel like to be told by Instagram, and how did they in fact inform you that they're suspending your account?
Yeah, so the first video was from the Catholic account, and it was a funny story. He basically asked all his followers to share this video, and it was a beautiful procession video, and I was like, oh, I definitely want people seeing that. So as you know, we had like 270,000 followers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to share this video. So I shared the video, and then right away, within I want to say like 3-4 hours, we get a copyright infringement from the person that asked like everyone to share it. And then anyway, they took it down, and then on his story, he's like, thank you everyone for sharing it. And I'm like, oh gosh. And so anyway, I saw the copyright infringement. I was like, it's okay, whatever. Like, we'll just keep posting. And then this is what is a little bit strange. We get hit with this copyright infringement from the second video, probably around 6 hours later. And That's actually what shut down our account. And I replied right away, let them know that I was looking into the matter, and that what was weird is I couldn't see the second video because they banned me from Instagram. So I couldn't see what they were like accusing me of. So I asked them if they could send me what video it was. And then the next day I finally got it. And right away I realized that we did have the licensing rights to that. So, I mean, as of right now, we're still trying to get it back. I'm honestly not surprised. It's been a good 5-6 years of us being on Instagram. We're very vocal about everything we do. We don't care what it is, politics, church teaching, anything. We'll make sure we always stay on 100% with the church, but at the same time, we want to connect to the youth. And as you know, most of our audience is from 18 to 40s. So it's a perfect way to reach them. So we want to make sure that they're always getting the truth. And I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm not really that surprised that they finally got us, but we're going to fight it. And as you know, we already started Catholic Connect 2.0, because we're not going to give up that easily. And I mean, within a couple hours, we passed 5,000 followers. And then right now, I think we're like 6,700.
Wow.
We're going to keep going.
That's amazing. Richie Orozco is our guest. He is the CEO of Catholic Connect, a Catholic social media site. Richie, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like the copyright strike policies and programs are fair on social media platforms? I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I felt like it's a little bit lopsided. People can make claims, and the burden is on the content creator to have to overcome all the hurdles. So the person making the claim doesn't have to do a whole lot compared to the person who is being accused. How do you feel now that you've kind of gone through this? Did you feel like this was a fair process, or would you like to see some changes?
Definitely not a fair process because, again, the company that's controlling it, it depends how their employees lean. So as we all know, big tech leans left, and so they're obviously more biased in that way. But they didn't even ask us to dispute it. Instead, they just shut us down. We couldn't even see the second content. So at this point, we were left with trying to scramble and find out what video it was, and then from there seeing if we had the rights, and obviously we did. So we're gonna keep fighting for it. And so yeah, definitely there should be a different way of how they go through it, and obviously they shouldn't just be able to just close your account right away without actually any evidence. So yeah, that's my and YouTube. And not just that, let me add one more thing. Last year, there was like 15 accounts, Catholic accounts, that got shut down out of nowhere. In total, there were like, I want to say like 10 million followers. And that was all over the news. When it got on the news, then they finally retracted it. Facebook apologized, said it was a glitch. We all know it wasn't a glitch. It was probably someone that didn't like Catholics or conservative values, and then they just shut them down. But obviously, they got on the news. And I actually know a few people from Facebook and the internal team, and they were trying to help. But the problem is, right now with the pandemic, they use that as an excuse to not provide support. Not them themselves, but the Instagram support. So they're not available through chat, through phone calls. It's only emails, and they respond if they want to.
All right, hold that thought. Richie Orozco is our guest, CEO of Catholic Connect. We're talking about censorship. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from Richie. Richie Orozco is our guest. He is the CEO of Catholic Connect, and they were suspended by Instagram. We've been talking about that in the first segment here. Richie, I know there's a lot of listeners that might not be familiar with Catholic Connect. You mentioned it briefly in the beginning of our conversation, but maybe you can tell us, what is Catholic Connect? Why did you found this? What do you hope to accomplish? Richie, are you there?
First of all, thank you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Catholic Connect, I started it, I want to say 7 years ago. And what I really wanted to do was connect Catholics to church teaching. And I knew that going to a secular school, I realized that a lot of the youth we were missing out on. So I wanted to do something to connect them. And so I started posting Catholic content out there, and in a few different ways in order to actually reach the youth, because I saw that no one was really touching that as much. And so I was trying to get them, and I honestly did not expect it to grow so quickly. Within the first couple of months, we had over 50,000 people following us, and after that, I decided to I got some messages about how much it was changing people's lives, and I was like, okay, if this is working, I got to start doing it everywhere. So I started growing it, and then it became a full-on company. We now have 35 people working with us,
Wow.
Some in Manila, some in Newport Beach, and some in Houston. And we have both a for-profit and a non-profit. And the for-profit is a technology company. It's a whole system to accept donations for churches so that they can better accept donations, because I saw that systems are very outdated, and they don't even accept Apple Pay or Google Pay or anything like that. And it's very hard for third world countries to accept donations because they don't really have technology, and they can't afford it. Like the big companies don't take it over there because they're not going to make a huge profit. So I wanted to change that, and I've been working with the Filipino Conference of Bishops, and they have been working alongside with us, endorsed us, and so now we're going to provide this to all the Filipinos, and
Wow.
not just to the Filipinos, but every country. And so on top of that, we have a Catholic social media app that we've been working on, because I keep emphasizing the Catholic Church should not fully rely on secular technology, which now we're seeing why. But I mean, it's happened all throughout the years. Big tech is obviously biased against Catholics, so we're going to keep doing everything that we're doing, working on our social media app, so that one day, I just want to make sure that the church has something, and they don't have to fully rely on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, that they have something solid that they can work on. As you know, we've been working on this app for 3 years, so it has not been easy, but I mean, we got over, I think we've had in total 70 developers. So we've had a lot of people work on it, and right now our team consists of around 35 developers. And I mean, we're going strong, and we're going to keep working on it. And on top of that, like I told you, we have a charity. We provide a lot of assistance to orphanages all across the world, and we're going to keep doing that. We help parishes in Mexico, where a lot of the families with the pandemic, they were literally left without a job. We provided a lot of parishes with resources so they can actually go out there and feed the families that are needing the help. And so obviously we all have to do our part, and that's really how we're doing our part. And yeah, so on top of that, we use secular social media to reach the Catholics that are out there, because we know that the younger generation of Catholics is barely getting reached by any company. So we really wanted to focus on that demographic. And I mean, obviously it's been doing really well. And yeah, so that's pretty much what Catholic Connect is.
Now, Richie, what is your opinion on alternative social media platforms such as Parler or Rumble or MeWe? Have you considered moving your platform to those alternative platforms?
Yeah, so I was actually using Parler. I have MeWe and Gab and a few others, but this is the thing. Again, the church should not rely 100% on any secular company, because I'll give you an example. Parler shut down an account not too long ago of a conservative, and he was posting memes, and apparently it was viewed as offensive, so then they shut him down. So even though the companies call themselves conservatives or traditional, whatever they want to call themselves, they're not Catholic. And if they're not Catholic, we should always be a little bit on the cautious side. And I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't go there, but we should definitely go there, because there's always going to be Catholics in those platforms. But let's be more prudent and actually have something where we can always fall back to, and not just fall back to, where we can actually rely and know that if we post 100%, if we post something like calling out Joe Biden for not actually being a practicing Catholic, where we know that that content is not going to get taken down. You can do that on Facebook, and it can be taken down. We can't do anything about it. We can, for example, Twitter, Live Action, the biggest pro-life organization, can't run any ads on Twitter, any pro-life ads. They know this. They still use it to reach a lot of people, which is good, but they don't fully rely on Twitter. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook a few years was blocking pro-life ads, and they wouldn't say why. And then like a year ago, they finally threw something in the terms and conditions calling it political. And now that's how they use like the excuse of blocking it. So yeah, we should definitely use alternative social media, but at the same time, again, as a church, we should be careful on what we use and what we fully rely on.
Richie Orozco, CEO of Catholic Connect, is our guest. We're talking about his Catholic media social platform, Catholic Connect, and his work, but also the general issues of censorship. And you bring up a great point, Richie, about not depending. And I've been saying this now for quite a bit of number of years. Mm-hmm. The Catholic Evangelist, being able to reach the masses, is becoming harder and harder. There is no, as far as I know, and I would love for you to correct me, and maybe someday this will be true, but as far as I know, there is not a Catholic organization on planet Earth that has purchased and set up and maintains server farms directly connected to the DNS servers around the world in order to guarantee that Catholic organizations like Catholic Connect or the Guadalupe Radio Network, the Station of the Cross, will have access to the masses by hosting their websites, their emails, their text messages, their videos, their audio podcasts, their memes and pictures. As far as I know, there is no such organization, meaning that we are now dependent upon all of these platforms to give us the access that we need in order to communicate the good, the true, and the beautiful to the world. And yeah. I see that narrowing for more and more every day. Amazon Prime is canceling books that they don't like out of their store. How many people purchase their books directly from publishers, Catholic publishers? How many go to Catholic bookshops? Mm-hmm. Very few these days. So I think you bring up an excellent point. Do you see a future in which there will be such an organization within the Catholic world that will protect us and give us the ability to reach the masses?
Yeah, so I like how you mentioned Amazon. Let's keep using that example. They shut down Parler because Parler was fully relying on Amazon web servers, which they're one of the top web companies, server companies, and so a lot of companies use them. And we actually use part of them. And then I started realizing, okay, we can't fully rely on Amazon or Google or Microsoft. How can we do this? And so we're actually working on an alternative right now, which is through cryptocurrency. And it's basically, it would be pretty much in this, no one can shut you down pretty much. And so we've been working on this. It's going to take probably like 6 more months for us to fully be functioning like this, But with this alternative, not just Catholic companies, but any company will be able to operate without being able to get shut down. And that's the good thing about this. It's a huge company. It's a nonprofit from Switzerland that actually started this program, and it's called Efinity. And so we're actually working with that platform to actually make sure that this is something that in the future we can provide to any Catholic entity. But again, I mean, we're the first Catholic entity, and we're the first out of many, even secular, to even try and do this. I put, I want to say like a month and a half ago, I put 3 developers to start building on this, and the company reached out to us right away, and they said, "Hey, we appreciate you guys building on this. We'll help you. Do you guys know what you're doing?" And I was like, I started reading about it probably 2 months ago, and I just couldn't sleep. For like 2 nights, I just read everything they had. I looked at everything, and I was like, if this works, this is going to be like revolutionary, because then we don't depend on any platform. And not only that, it's a lot cheaper than Google, Amazon, or Microsoft.
Wow.
And they know this. And so that's going to hit their business hard. And that's why they don't want this company to succeed. But this company has fundraised over $200 million. And if we get the infrastructure right, then no one can shut us down.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. Wow.
Well, I hope and pray that that actually works. That would be an amazing thing. I still worry, though, that we will be shut off from the main. Like, it's okay to you have your own website, you have your own social platform, but if the bulk of the audience is on a secular platform, how do we reach those people? How do we connect with those people? Are there ways of overcoming even those obstacles? If we're still allowed to play in the digital world, how do we go to the playgrounds that have banned us? We have about 3 minutes left with Richie Orozco, from CEO of Catholic Connect.
You keep creating Catholic accounts. Look, they're gonna keep shutting down Catholic accounts everywhere you are. That's the truth reality. Honestly, I'm surprised that we lasted 5 years because, like I said, we're very vocal. We got in a lot of like warnings before. For priest reached out 2 years ago and said, "Hey, this is weird, but I can't run a pro-life ad. Facebook keeps denying it. They won't, or declining it, but they won't tell me why." And I was like, "Send me the ad, and I'll try it." I had 3 different people. 2 of them worked at Facebook, trying to help me, and obviously they don't say they work. Like, they don't tell anyone that they're working with me.
Oh no!
But they tried running it, they couldn't run it, and then they told me it's pro-life. Yeah. And I was like, I know it's pro-life. I just wanted to hear it from you.
All right, we're out of time. Richie Orozco, CEO of Catholic Connect. God love you. God bless you. Thank you for your time today. I know you've been up all night. It's time for you to go to bed, Richie. God bless you, brother. Thank you for all you do.
All right, bye.
Check out his website, catholicconnect.co, catholicconnect.co. We'll have to have him back. It was a great guest. But if you're able to join us in the next hour, we surely would love to have you. Our game show comes in the next hour, plus more breaking news and stories, Saint of the Day, Gospel Day, and the after show, where there's even more conversation around some of these headlines that I would like to have. But you, my dear listener, get to be the bulk of the conversation in the after show. All that still to come in Catholic Drive Time. And you can join us on Facebook, Twitter, or on YouTube. We'll see you then. God bless you. God love you. If you can't, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us on Your Catholic Drive Time, where it is our pleasure to keep you informed and inspired.
Join us Monday through Friday at the same time, right here on your favorite Catholic radio station.
Don't forget to connect with us. Just go to facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Again, that's facebook.com/Catholic Drive Time.
Be sure to share more than just us today. Share Jesus with everyone you meet.
Bye now, and God love you.